Mysterious fingerprints left on a house mirror. The story submitted to the site by ACK3 Loves from PA. My children and I have all witnessed fingerprints on our mirrors after they have been cleaned and after showering and on my son's door. We had our home built in 2014 and my youngest daughter saw a spirit of a little girl in her room. She slept with me for the longest time. Now we know that a lot of beautiful Pennsylvania residences, neighborhoods have been built on farmland, and we don't know if this farmland was at one point Native American burial grounds. I had a couple of years back, one of my viewers sent me a letter having a poltergeist activity on him only. He was living with his wife and his mother-in-law. He was renting to buy. It was a new development. And it was only the poltergeist having activity on him, pulling him off the bed and throwing him onto the floor. So he had to sleep in the living room so his wife wouldn't be disturbed and upset about this every night. And he found out later on that this cul-de-sac, this neighborhood, was built over a Native American burial ground. So I asked my father confessor about this, is tell him to leave that house since he's renting, to go somewhere else and make sure that it's not a Native American burial ground. So what is going on with this? It could be the same type of a situation. Now, she said when she told my oldest son, who has an apartment in the lower level of our home, she saw a ghost. He immediately asked her if it was a little girl because he saw her as well. He is an empath and has seen ghosts, not so nice ones, stalk him in his room at an Amish farm we live on. So there you go. When I was in high school, my parents and I lived with a ghost, and I witnessed a shadow person walking down the hallway past my bedroom and had the feeling of being watched constantly and had a pressure of someone on my back constantly when I went to the basement to do laundry or to the attic to go through storage. Many strange things happened in the house and that were not explainable, and my dad was a skeptic about this. He began to question what was happening. My husband is a huge skeptic and refuses to believe the prints are paranormal or from a spirit, so my children and I keep the discussions and concerns and fears to ourselves. After my two children saw the girl, we also would hear knocking on windows and doors, and no one would be outside, and some knocks would be within the house, and everyone would be asleep, when the one that heard the knocking would get up to check. We would also hear some very strange noises in the woods behind our house at night, like a whirlwind, but only because our house, and it was very uneasy, a very uneasy feeling because you had no idea what could be conjuring up that constant fast disturbance of leaves and limbs breaking off trees only in one area in our development behind our house. Definitely no animals. I burned sage through our house and everything was quiet for a very long time. I recently went to the cemetery to place new flowers on my parents' headstone and took miscellaneous pictures of older tombstones, and as I got a weird feeling next to a very old grave, I told my son I was ready to move along, and he said he was also, because he was getting strange feelings. We got home and I looked at the pictures, and when I got scared, felt weird, there was a strange light source that came through on the one with only picture. I took several pictures on different angles and no other shot had that light source, and I had no weird sensation at another spot in the cemetery that day other than the very old one as we were leaving. After that day is when things started getting stirred up at our house again with fingerprints. I had a nightmare that I woke up screaming and my two daughters heard me. It was sort of a joke because of how I was screaming, but I was honestly scared to be screaming loud in my sleep. My daughter and son both had scratches after this dream. I wanted to attach photos, but I'm unsure how to do so. If someone can advise how I can upload them so you can see what these things are, thank you so much. Okay, so this is on Unexplained Mysteries by ACK3 Loves from PA, Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's obviously poltergeist, having to do with demonic activity, and this also happens in a lot of places in the UK that are haunted. Another situation there with my goddaughter, who is from London. They bought a very old house at a very good price, and that's usually because of the fact that there's something wrong with the house. Being haunted, it was her case with poltergeist activity. And I asked my father confessor, I said, why is this going on in my goddaughter's house? She says, it could be because somebody was doing black magic in that house, and the demonic entities are attracted to such locations. Tell her to be sinless and not to be afraid of anything. Obviously, the things were really out of whack. They since then sold that house, and it was not a good not a good experience for them. So we don't know what this is. Poltergeist activity. It could be that it was at one point a Native American burial ground. Who knows? The good thing is that you can ask a Christian Orthodox priest to come and do a house blessing, the prayer of the holy water, and usually it's like an exorcism prayer for the house, to cleanse the house from entities like this, and usually things get better that way. This is on Unexplained Mysteries. I'll leave links below for you for this. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.